there's more and continued talk of uprisings. So we've got a couple of those for you today. Our first one here is by this person with an edgy profile picture, and they say, little bit off here, a little bit off. Here's what I'll do. I'll pop this over into Google so we don't have to force Armin to read all of this for us. All right.
I can read it.
Are you sure? It's a bit long. If you want to, yeah.
تصمیم بدون کارشناسی که فقط داره Oh my god, I know what they're gonna say. قشر ضعیف جامعه هدف قرار میده، تنها گروه جامعه که پای نظام و Are you kidding me? اگه دولت قصدش از بین بردن و نابود کردن این مردم اشکال نداره انجام بده، ولی بدون اصلاح آشورایی تو راهه. Oh Ali, you need to send me this. This is gold. Go a little bit lower. تمام روی تمام خائنین تمام به این نظام و مردم و انقلاب به سزای اعمال خیانت بارشون میرسن. با گرون کردن بنزین فقط زمانشون زودتر میشه. Oh my god. این بار طرف حساب مردم مبسوط شدن. Okay. Wow, I could talk about this for hours. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah,
okay, so let me just translate it. Thank you. So let's go all the way to okay, so guys, this is a jihadi person in Iran, right? And I'm gonna try to translate it without shouting at the screen, okay? He's saying the decision that the government has made without the expertise, without having the knowledge of doing so, is only hurting the weaker part of the society. The society is being hurt, but the poor, the weaker part of the society. The part of society that supports the regime. So let me tell you what he's saying. He's saying that the decision to increase fuel prices by the government is not hurting the anti-regime people. It's only hurting the pro-regime people. The people who have been supporting the regime all of this time. Is hurting them. Okay? Say if the government, so this is a jihadi person against the government, right? Saying if the government was trying to destroy the people, that's okay. But they must know that there's a reform coming, an Ashurai reform, meaning at a Hussein type reform, meaning a jihadi uprising. He's saying a jihadi uprising is coming against the government. Islah Ashurai means a jihadi uprising against the government. This is the double uprising I've been promising you about for the past 8 years. All of the traitors of the regime, meaning the people within the Islamic Republic who betrayed the people and the Islamic Revolution, they will all be punished. They will all be paying the price for treason, for betraying us. By increasing the price of fuel, oh my God, they're going to just bring that closer. This time, they'll have to be answerable to us, basically to the jihadi people, that they're doing this to us. So
if you guys thought that $5 a gallon was a lot in the United States, these guys are saying all of this over 60 cents, 70 cents a gallon. And it's not even $1 yet. These regime supporters are so angry at their own government. These gas prices are acting as a catalyst, and they're saying, we, the Durkas of the Islamic Republic, are going to wage jihad against the Islamic Republic to clean away the segment of it that we hate. And these gas prices are actually just speeding things up. Keep on raising the price of gas. See what we're going to do.
This is everything we have been telling you in one post. So let me explain line by line. Okay. So first of all, guys, this shows that unlike what they have been telling us for the past few decades, the jihadis also cry and feel pain with economic hardship. They called us, more secular Iranians, they called us life lovers, weak and pathetic, those who think of this world rather than afterlife. They said that we love death more than you love life to us, saying that they're resilient. They don't care about the things of this world. And they could go to war with the enemies of Islam and pay the highest price, including their own lives. Economic hardship be damned. We will die for Islam. But now, when they're increasing the price of fuel in Iran, they're crying and they're like, "We're gonna do an uprising against the government if you do
Weird.
this." The jihadi ones.
So weird.
Also, these idiots don't understand. So, guys, in Iran, when people say the government, they're not talking about the entire regime. In Iran, when they say the government, they're talking about the executive branch. They're talking about the president and his cabinet. The way that these people see it is that fuel prices are going up because Pezeshkian has decided to do so, as a way to punish them, as a way to bring an uprising, as a way to wage war against their people. It's just a decision that he could just easily not do. They don't realize that the war that these people have been asking for is the reason why fuel prices have to go up, because fuel prices have been heavily subsidized in Iran. They're at 11 cents a gallon, and it's going to go to, I don't know, 70 cents a gallon now because of this, probably something like that, right?
And there's a couple really good ones like this.
But
This
let me
isn't the only
finish
one.
this point.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I know you want to. I know, Ali, I know you want to move on, but this is important, right? Yeah. Okay. So they are trying to blame Pezeshkian because Ghalibaf people are trying to blame, like, because it's better to blame mismanagement by the regime, by the government, by Pezeshkian, rather than admitting that they have lost to Americans, right? Because think about it, most governments will, if you would think that the defenders of the Islamic Republic, the leftist defenders of the Islamic Republic outside of Iran, they say that this is because of America and Israel, not because of mismanagement. But inside Iran, the jihadis are saying this is because of mismanagement, not because of war with Israel and the United States. The reason why they want to do that is because blaming the government means that blaming the reformers, the Pezeshkian. But if you blame American Israel, that's an admission that we lost against Americans and Israelis, because you were supposed to bring economic hardship to Americans. They weren't supposed to be able to bring economic hardship to you unless you could pretend that you don't care about economic hardship. But now that it's too painful, everybody is crying out, and you also are crying out that this is hard, but you can't say that this is because of Americans and Israelis, because if you do so, then you're saying that the Americans and Israelis are actually winning this war, and you cannot do that. So you have to blame Pezeshkian, but whoever you blame, at the end of the day, they can't tolerate this. Neither our side or their side they can't tolerate this. Guys, remember, if fuel prices are heavily subsidized so that they are 11 cents a gallon, that means everything else. That means that the government has robbed your wealth from everywhere else to give you subsidies on fuel prices so that you create dependency on fuel prices. But that means that everyone's lives and everyone's businesses relies on gasoline being 11 cents a gallon. That means if you go from 11 to 70 cents per gallon, everything will break apart. People cannot, there's no way to adjust to that, right? So you might think like, oh, 70 cents is also very cheap. It's not cheap if everything runs on 11 cents. That would be like in US, if you go from $4 per gallon to $40 per gallon. If everything is built on, if everything is functioning on $4 a gallon, imagine jumping to 40. That's what the change looks like. Let me know if that makes sense.
That's a really good
All right.
comparison. That's, yeah. 11 cents a gallon might not seem a lot to you guys, but as Armin's saying, if the entire economy is adjusted to the price of 11 cents a gallon to run trucks and businesses and everything, now we suddenly jump up to 60, 70, 80 cents a dollar. Ooh. Ooh. And oh, right. You can't import more gasoline, can you? Nope, you can't. Let's see what the next person says. Sorry, what were you going to
Wait,
say?
hold. Yeah, so I know you're joking, but I'm going to use this as an opportunity to respond to this. I know you don't mean it, right? So, High Turban is saying, "Geez, I only wish gas was 60 cents per gallon here in the U.S." No, you do not. Okay, I know you don't mean it as a joke, but I'm going to use it. You do not want that. You do not want that because the only way gas is 60 cents per gallon means that it's subsidized. If it's subsidized, that means it's been taken away from you somewhere else, and most of it is not being given back to you. So if your gas prices are that heavily subsidized, that means that somebody took your wealth from you somewhere else and is giving to you a fraction of it back in the form of subsidies. So you do not want that. But yes, continue.
People have been saying this left, right, and center. More people are saying, okay, now the Islamic Republic is trying to scare us with 90 toman gasoline. So that's like $1 a gallon ish equivalent. And in the end, in the first, so they're going to scare us by saying that we're going to jack the prices up 10 times, but in reality, they'll jack the prices up 5 times so that the people think, oh, phew, oh, at least it's not 10 times. And he's saying if gasoline even becomes 1,000 toman more expensive, like a few times more expensive, this government, the Pezeshkian government, must be overthrown. In fact, their spokesperson of Pezeshkian came out and said this way back when, and then boom, see what happened. The protests of 8th and 9th of January occurred right afterwards. This is something that we know. I mean, this is not the first time that gasoline prices are going to cause an uprising. These people have this fresh on their mind. These regime supporters, especially, have it fresh on their minds because they're scared the most when an uprising happens.
Ali sent this to me as well because they think this is on purpose. They think Pezeshkian created the economic conditions for people to do an uprising in early January so that he could get the Americans and Israelis to kill Ali Khamenei and Mushtaba Khamenei. And now that Mushtaba Khamenei is alive, he's increasing fuel prices again so that there could be another uprising. So this time they could finish the job with Mushtaba Khamenei. They think Pezeshkian is doing this on purpose to get Mushtaba Khamenei killed. That's what they think. Not that there is no revenue. They don't think like maybe it's because we don't have oil revenue to continue subsidizing and because there's not enough fuel to go around. So the prices do not match the level of supply that we have in the market. They don't know that. They're like, no, Pezeshkian is a Zionist trying to create the conditions for an uprising to kill Mushtaba.
They're too stupid to realize that. It's never going to happen. And then look at what this person says as well. Here's the Farsi version of it, and then we'll translate that for you guys. So, someone said Pezeshkian should resign. You know, he's useless. He should resign. And this person says, what's your point? Do you think these idiots are going to do anything for their own people? None of them are Iranians. They've already spent so much money on Iraq and Lebanon, you don't even have to argue about it. It's clear. Enjoy the fruits of their labor. You stupid people still have to realize and grow some things, so be patient. Do you think these idiots are going to do anything for their own people? What they're saying is, if someone says, oh, Pezeshkian should resign, and someone says that doesn't make a difference, what's your point? It means that It doesn't matter who's the president. It's the entire institution that's a problem here. Again, more and more regime supporters waking up to stark realities. And check this one out. This person is attempting to make an economic argument that we can rip apart pretty easily here. They said if they make, and look, look at the profile picture. I think it all makes sense. If they make gas more expensive, then they're going to have to subsidize public transportation vehicles and people who drive Uber, for example. Okay. So you'll have to pay these people like 3 million toman in subsidies. You have to give them a ration card for fuel to all Iranians. And only then will it be acceptable for you to raise the price of gas. On a scale of stupidity, I think this is pretty much a 10. If you make gas more expensive, first of all, this guy's assuming that they're doing it on purpose. They're not. There is no gas. They have to make it more expensive. And if they did, where are they going to get the money to subsidize other things? Why do you think they're unsubsidizing gasoline? If they had the money, they would keep it subsidized. They don't have it. How are they going to get money from somewhere? The government gets $110 billion of revenue a year. Most of that is oil revenue. There is no oil revenue. Where is it going to come from? When we tell you guys that these regime supporters are stupid, they don't understand the basic economics of why things are happening in the country. They look at the leadership and just blame them. And that is why the politics of the Islamic Republic is the blame game. They designate people to take the blame every time something goes wrong. That is their plan from the get-go. And this one, let's take a look at what Amir Hossein Gholami says here. We'll have to censor that part. So, we could put that down. So, it's people like you who don't see the devaluation of the national currency, the emptying of the treasury of gold, and the increasing prices, but you guys still buy expensive gasoline. So as long as there's people like you, there should be someone like Pezeshkian. Let's put that back into Farsi. It'll just be better. Armin, can you not read the curse word here for us?
اوکی. اولاغ امثال شماها هستین که کاهش ارزش پول ملی و خالی شدن خزانه از طلا و دلاری شدن قیمت‌ها رو نمی‌بینین و باز هم نسخه گرونی اونم بنزین میپیچین. تا امثال شما هستین باید هم اصلاحاتی و هم پزشکیان از گردن ملت سواری بکشه. احمقا. I don't see the curse word. Where's the curse word?
It was in the beginning. I don't know why it translated that into something else, but yeah.
Okay, so it's saying, you idiots. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, what does it mean?
Go up. So it's saying, you idiots, idiots like you, who don't see the devaluation of our currency and the emptying of our reserves from gold and also the dollarization of the prices in the country. You don't see all of that, and then even when you see all of that, you decide to prescribe increasing fuel prices for us. As long as there are people like you, like the reformers and Pezeshkian, the people like reformers and Pezeshkian, as that's a verification. So basically saying that you are using the people. You're basically taking advantage of us. As long as you are riding up on the people and using them, the reformers and Pezeshkian. So lower it a little bit. You idiots. So he's just basically saying that they're blaming everything on the reformers, thinking that oh, you see all of these problems and you still decided to increase fuel prices. So he's calling other people idiots, but he's the idiot because he doesn't see that they don't have a choice. He doesn't see that he's the idiot. He and people like him did this. They brought war. They declared war against the world superpower. That's the consequences of the things that you stand for. He thinks Pezeshkian has a choice. Pezeshkian doesn't have a choice. There is no revenue. There is no fuel. The prices do not reflect the supply. What is he like? It's not his decision. This is being forced on him. You did this to Iran. You by saying death to American, death to Israel for the past 48 years. This is the consequences. On the Persian channel, I said this. I said when you were saying death to America, what you were actually saying death to was death to a full fridge. When you said death to America and death to Israel, what you were actually saying was death to a full fridge, death to the ability of me being able to pay for my kids' education, for my parents' health costs. That's what you're saying death to. And this is the result of that. You deserve this. The Iranians who weren't for waging war against the United States and Israel and the rest of the world, they don't deserve this. You brought this upon yourself, not Pezeshkian. You did this.
2 points. We told you guys months ago that if we divide the dwindling base of the regime supporters even further, that's the fastest way to overthrowing the Islamic Republic on the ideological level. A double uprising, coined by Armin, means that you can't govern a country if you don't have any support. It's already hard for them to govern or try to, be in power. Let's just say it's a better term when they have 95% of the population against them. Now let's just break apart that 5%, destroy them from the inside. Okay, it's working. We can see that. We can see that with allegrams that these people are indeed thinking that way. They're just blaming each other all the time. But we also, another point, is that these people have tunnel vision themselves. They are genuinely stupid. You cannot take an old dog and teach them new tricks. These people are set in their ways for decades. Now that things are changing, all they do is, why is it changing? That person's changing it. Pezeshkian, the president's changing it. Get after him. Get him out of office. Ignore the fact that we, for 40 years, were saying, as Armin's saying, death to America, death to my full fridge. I brought this upon myself. Forget about that. These people all have tunnel vision. They're looking down a magnifying glass at this problem. And that's ultimately going to serve us. If they're so focused on just the problems and not the solution, and they can't work together for a solution, it's only a matter of time.
My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.